mean, it's essentially it's by ballot, is it?
Yeah.
By mail?
Mm-hmm.
And how else?
Just a regular ballot in my case, because I'm a permanent resident abroad.
Yep.
I get a special ballot for people who live abroad because I can't vote in state elections.
Yep.
So the way it works is you vote in the last place you live, which for me was California.
Right.
But I'm not, in any meaningful sense, or in any sense, a resident of California. I don't live there. I don't pay taxes there. I'm not a citizen.
Okay.
So they just send you this little square that lets you vote for the president and the Congress people for California, and that's it. You can't vote for the state offices.
So I mean, how persuasive is the expat vote? I mean, obviously it's not an overwhelming percentage in any respect, but is it significant as in the nominees in the nomination period?
Well, I mean, one vote's one vote. So, and you know, you really see, like, I was doing calls last night for Michigan, which is a swing state.
Yeah.
And they gave me 10 calls, which is not nearly all the Michigan people who live in Sydney.
Yeah.
In 2000 in Florida, which swung the election, Bush won by 537 votes. There are probably, I mean, I'm just talking off the top of my head, but I bet you there are 50 Floridians here in Sydney, if not 30 or 40. You know, that's a tenth of the margin in 2000. You know, it's worth it, basically.
Yeah, and it's worth it. I'm surprised in that respect that Republicans equally aren't as organised as you are here.
Well, I don't think they're very organised at all this time around, but I think, you know, there's a real lack of enthusiasm this time around because they've had such a terrible 8 years.
They haven't even got a contact here.
Yeah, but I would bet, and I don't really know this, but I'm guessing Sydney is probably not the most fertile ground for Republicans.
Right.
But there would be places that they'd have a strong showing, and I'm sure they must organize them. Actually, you know, I saw a newspaper article about expat voting, and I think, you know, Israel's a pretty strong country for Republicans.
Okay.
Well, so oddly, I mean, actually, it's probably a pretty strong country for Democrats too, but at least they find it worth their while to keep organizing in Israel.
I wanted to ask you about the presidential nominations in the runoff between Obama and Hillary.
Yeah.
The general worldwide trend was 2-1 margin in favour of Obama, but in Sydney in particular it was 3-1. Why is that?
Well, that'd be hard to say. I mean, you know, a lot of it's probably just demographics. Obama picked up a lot of, on the Democrat side, he picked up a lot of people with postgraduate educations. He picked up probably a lot of people who are abroad. It's really hard to say why. I mean, demographically, it sort of makes sense why those demographics vote for Obama rather than Hillary. I'm not really sure why that
does he represent, like, I mean, obviously expats have a different worldview than stateside residents. Does he represent something that they don't see?
Well, I reckon, yeah, you can hang it right up here.
Hang it right.
I reckon this year he probably did, mostly just because I don't think Hillary's, she's not a provincial candidate at all. She probably would have been very good.
Yeah.
But she did vote for the war in Iraq, and again, just guessing, I would expect that Americans living abroad would probably be more pro-withdrawal than sort of your average sort of set of Americans.
Right.